So last week, February 4th, update from Jasmine Asset Management. Victoria talking about harvest and poll for harvest. I hope you all filled up the nice poll. You know the answers. I gave you the answers, so let's see. Today, what is one more? Today is 3/11/2025. A question for Antoine. Is there a soccer game today?
There should be one right now. Real Madrid.
What? Wait, give me once again. I need to start the soccer game app. Only Real Madrid, or are there like multiple games at the same time?
I don't know.
Paris-Brest.
Paris-Brest. Good. We should have
Two French teams at the set in one game.
Don't tell me anything.
No.
Oh, there is, so tomorrow there is also their French teams, but there is, Manchester City. Oh boy, what are we doing a virtual meeting? I can't even find the French one. Isn't it tomorrow? Antoine, the French team is tomorrow.
Tonight. No.
So why don't I see that then?
Brest, Paris.
I don't understand. Okay, I trust you, but it doesn't show up on my feed. That's weird. Crap. Okay, well, whatever. So, topics, soccer. Demos. Anyone with demos?
I have an update on the OpenAI stuff for the AI module.
Okay. What we have then status here, portrait 1, 2, we have updated here. So two things were merged. One thing was merged with embed video import to dedicated service, but I feel like we talked about last week. Yes, we talked about it last week. And then here we stopped there because we merged name live. Then this one was committed. So this is what? Another one? Oh, it's a bot. Okay, let's see. Use pattern matching. Use pattern matching. So some C# tricks. Okay. We hope it's the same thing because there are some parentheses that are removed. So hopefully, yeah, this should, because there is just one ternary, but when there are multiple ternaries like this one, this is scary. Okay. Okay. And the same thing. So instead of checking, we have one element, but it's a type, and then we assign it a variable. We can just say use the array constructor here. And then the variable. Okay. Learning stuff. Then fixed table format index. So normalizing all the tables. It's nicer. Cool. Sweet. Fixed docs. It's the same to me. Release 2.1. So something was merged back to release 2.1. Fix the expiration policy separator. After the release. So sad because I believe this one was merged before. This one we saw that in triage, so it was backported. Oh, that's why it's the bot, because it's backported using the bot. Update identification cache expiration settings in me, because there is a new property that might be. So now it's documented. Update event should only be called when updating content item. So important PR to change what events are sent when we publish, update content item in the workflows, and not in the, just in the workflows, but visible mostly in the workflows. This is a side change, which is standardizing the name of the content item property in the context object when there is a content item, because there is a content item property already. So if this can be used, it's used instead of specific ones. So in this case, it's a published content text. So the content item would be the publishing item. So we don't need this one anymore somehow. So we just use the content item. And it's consolidating, standardizing on all the context this way. Some of them are already doing that. So this is these two, at least, they are doing the same thing as the other. But here the main change is that the events updating are only triggered when you update the content item and not when you create it. Workflows might have to be updated for that. Revert, sanitize HTML and supported culture changes. We talked about it 2 weeks ago, but it wasn't just last week because I didn't send the meeting recordings to the board in time. So people saw the meetings from 2 weeks ago only last week. And the comments we made during this meeting have been applied here. The issue being that these things don't require localization to run because there are default services related to localization that will make them localization and not just localization, sanitization also. So they move back. Fix casing. Okay, just standardizing the casing of the labels. Fix required taxonomy fields. Invalid.
Why are we changing the casing?
I saw a comment.
This is the form labels.
I don't know. It's been approved,
Yeah,
right? Because it's.
I don't know, but yeah, this is not really. I mean, we can't just keep using title case and everything. It's we're abusing it. In here, it makes no sense to use it. I don't know.
So here we have label. So but maybe because all of them are like this, you see, all of them are like this already on this page.
In this
These
form,
two ones, yes, like 50 of them are like this, and not these two. So that's why it's
yeah.
consistency.
All right.
Well, next week you'll have a new one.
Yeah. No, I mean, like, it seems like we title case everything, and really we shouldn't.
Yeah, I don't.
Title case should be used sporadically, not everywhere.
I agree, but I don't have any rules in mind to say we should.
Yeah.
And you see, all the labels are not like what type of database to use label. And yeah, this one will be weird to complicate. So I don't know. Maybe there are a set of rules we should follow and then follow.
Hopefully, when we revamp the thing, we'll have more structure around the title cases and what case to use.
You can dream.
Oh yeah.
So fix required as a state. Oh yeah, I remember this one. Very nice PR. So when you edit taxonomies, the fields will not error, validation errors will not be displayed correctly. So this is doing that. This is prefixing this in the technical names with the correct value. So it matches and then the error is correctly displayed and assigned to the field. And also it's grouping, it's adding some classes so that the errors show what it's applied on by creating a box around the thing. So that's updating the CSS and the HTML to make validation errors nicer for taxonomy. Good PR. And the new contributor, I believe. I would have been, maybe not. Or the bot would have worked. Or maybe Antoine even triggered the bot if it's Antoine still in that. I don't remember. Replace middleware with simple endpoints. Beautiful PR. I learned so much with this PR. James hasn't showed up in a week at the meetings. So disappointing. Maybe I made him regret his involvement in Orchard and now he doesn't want to join. But so this one, replacing all the middleware that were made, like for instance, this one, a middleware to serve the liquid IntelliSense.js file that contains the JavaScript that will help the IntelliSense for all the filters that are available. So it's kind of dynamic. And but it was done as a middleware, meaning every single request will go through this middleware to decide if the content had to be returned or not. And to do that, it's better to just use an endpoint that will use the common route resolution infrastructure to decide what to say. So much better. And also, with this change, it's containing all the required cache, client side and server side, to handle the serving much more efficiently. Good. So two middleware are gone, and maybe more checks like this URL, and maybe another one. See one file here, one file there. Same thing for this one, another one. Remove unnecessary WithCulture from localizer. That was an obsolete method that will go away next version release. Update dependency to NodaTime from renovate. Update dependency and update dependency. And then update dependency. Because this could be a single PR. It's for them. Fix GraphQL content items status filter fix. Move back to the next patch release. And so this is unrelated. I hope so. And what is the bug here? Listing status. Fix GraphQL content item status filter fix. Okay, that's a bug fix. Not sure what it was. It was important fix, maybe? Maybe. Publication status? Yeah, maybe. If it was broken and you can't get a draft or published item, then probably bad. Good. Questions? Comments? Beautiful changes. What else? Once we've done that, what do we do? Demos? Topics?
Yeah,
Mike,
I can.
demo?
Yep.
Okay, Mike demo.
All right. Here. All right. So if whoever's seen this demo last a few weeks ago, this demo allows you to interact with any AI model using Orchard. This module is not in the Orchard core repository. You can actually pull it here. There is a NuGet package available out there that you can utilize. so you can try it out if you want to try it out. This is the package right here. I just actually released beta 2, which has a lot more providers and a lot more improvements. So what I did is first, now when you enable the feature, we have many features depending on the implementation you want. But in this case, you'll have artificial intelligence menu, and under there you'll have profiles and deployments, and then your pet profiles. So profile, the idea behind the concept here behind a profile is that you can define any profile you want. You can using, as you can see here, many providers and many sources to create your own profile. If you want Azure OpenAI, Azure Inference, Azure OpenAI with search, DeepSeek, Ollama, OpenAI. You can use any of these sources to create a profile. If you create here, you can specify the name, technical name. You can select different deployment if needed. You have 3 different types: chat, utility, and template generated prompt. Chat will provide you a way to create a full-blown chat. Utility will allow you to do things like, I just want one response. Like you can use this for like a workflow. And this one allows you to generate like a summary of your session or something like that. Anyway, so here you can configure everything about the model. You can put the system message, you can specify anything you want, all the parameters are available. So you can define your own profile. And then another option here, when you have a chat, there's another option here. It's called show on admin menu. See, this goes away if you select different option. But this allows you to list it here, which kind of makes it nice and easy because you can just click on whichever profile that you want and you can just directly chat with it. So I previously made some chats here so you can see my interactions. And you can, create a new chat and just type in whatever you want and it'll respond. This chat is utilizing the OpenAI or Azure OpenAI. And this one is utilizing DeepSeek. So you can actually utilize DeepSeek to interact with this. There's, as you saw earlier, there's a lot of providers because if you look here, you'll see under artificial intelligence, you'll see a lot of features. These 3 right here are like primary features. And then you have implementations. You have, here's all these implementations that you can utilize to interact directly. The cool thing is that I added the support for multiple connections because sometimes you have multiple connections for the same provider. Like for example, if you're using DeepSeek, you might want to have 2 services, like one go into one model and then the other go into a different model. You can do that. For Azure, sometimes you have multiple services on multiple different accounts that you might want to connect to. So with this setup, you're able to do everything like that. And these are all the providers that are currently available right here, all of them. You have implementation, as long as you configure it. You enable the feature. Well, these all you have to enable the features for them. So each one belongs to a different feature. So you enable the feature and then you use it. For Ollama, I created it for local deployment only or development only. And I also added a project in the solution with Aspire. So I can actually enable that Ollama locally here and just run it. So as you can see here in this project, I have Ollama module or model. And then I even have Redis service enabled. And then I configure the connection here for my local Ollama model, and then I can interact with it for testing purposes. So this is it. So this project is really almost production ready. It's not 100% ready, but it's there. I'm using it in production. I'm testing it myself. So if anyone is interested in using AI technology in Orchard Core, please try out this module and let us know. Hopefully it's good. If you have any questions, comments, please share.
I'm just looking at the Aspire code. I don't care about the rest.
What?
I'm looking at the Aspire integration. I'm not looking at the rest.
Come on. This is the boring stuff.
No, it's interesting to see what you did because I try to do the same thing with different goals, but like how
is there a better way to do this?
No. I mean, I found some flaws in Aspire, like things to improve to make it easier in Orchard, and also in Orchard to work well with Aspire, like because like how to make, like, imagine you have a Redis, okay, which you use, but how do you integrate it with Orchard? You see, you have to bind the environment variable with a connection string that you set up. The goal of Aspire is that it gives you the connection string for Redis. So ideally, you wouldn't have to type localhost hello admin true. You have to say, give me the connection for this. And ideally, you will not have to tell what environment variable it is. You should just say, like, hey, Orchard, use Redis. This is use Redis, called Redis, the variable. And then it should find it by itself, ideally. Or Orchard should be able to read the environment variable defined by Aspire, or the client integration defined by Aspire to do that. So
I agree with you. But looking at the configuration in Orchard, you would have to provide an endpoint. Well, in this case, I have an endpoint, but in here, like for Redis, you still have to have an endpoint. You can't, I haven't tried it. You can't put the name of the connection, like you can't put Redis in here.
No, there is no magic, right? So when you, if you want, so if you don't have Orchard and you want to integrate Redis with Aspire, in your application, you first you point to the Redis integration package, and in this package you say add Redis client. Okay, so add Redis client comes from a specific package from Aspire that knows what environment variable to read or what configuration to read, and will inject a Redis client. So there is no magic here. In Orchard, we should have like a package for Aspire, maybe that says add or integrate with Aspire, but then we would have to call it for Orchard. So maybe it's the opposite we need to do here. Is just say with, when in your code here you have line 11 Redis, add Redis, maybe we should say dot configure for Orchard, and then automatically it will generate the environment variable that matches for Orchard, and will take the connection string to put it inside the environment variable. Just one idea.
Yeah, that would definitely be nice, because this way you don't have to monkey around with setting the variables here.
Yeah.
But
and you have enough knowledge yourself to know what to do. But yeah, so even myself, I will be like, okay, how do I integrate that? Like, okay, maybe there is a setting in Orchard that I can set, and then, oh, but settings in .NET, you can set them as environment variable. Oh, let me rebuild. See, like the underscore and all these things, like it's knowledge that you have to acquire, so it's not easy to be able to do that. And then here is just a simple connection string because it's Redis. Now let's say you want to integrate with managed identity on Azure, because you use Azure storage and you want to use that in Orchard, and you want to use managed identity. How do we do that? Like, yeah, Aspire can do that. Orchard maybe can do that. How do you link them together? It's not easy.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, I spent a lot of time trying to figure this out when I did it a while ago.
And that would be great, right? Like just Redis, because it's one of the main extra service, microservice that we would use in Orchard. But then all the Azure stuff, all the things we can, like authentication stuff, that would be great to be able to set up all these things from Aspire, and then we just start F5, and then all these things boot up, Orchard boots up, and everything is configured, and you can play locally with that and then deploy it later if you want, but at least play locally with authentication, with AI, with Redis, with Azure, all these things. So
Is there a reason why? Is there a reason why we don't have an Aspire web project in Orchard? Like, I mean, for me in this case, I have two startup projects. One of them is Aspire, and the other one is my regular web. Is there a reason why we should have the same thing in Orchard?
We could, but what would we put there? Because it's very
very minimum Redis.
Why?
Well, because like if you were doing some testing, let's say locally, and you want to integrate to Redis, you don't have to put an actual connection. You can just run, for example, that. If you want a database integration, you can just configure it.
Yeah, and maybe we want to add like the UI for MySQL, I mean, I don't know, or PGSQL, whatever. And so it's a lot of ifs. And you see the CMS.web, it has nothing. It just say use Orchard, and then the setup will do the rest. But if you say setup SQL Server and you didn't provision a SQL Server with Aspire, you see it's all ifs, you don't know yet. So maybe it should be a sample and not something in this solution, but maybe in the samples repo, something that shows how to use Aspire with Orchard. But still have
the one PR that's been sitting in Aspire for like a year.
Yeah, but when I mean in samples, in Orchard samples, not in the Aspire samples.
I see. Okay.
Because no, we can't depend on that, and also because, or maybe wanna have a one app host, but just I don't know for testing locally, not so people can change it. I don't know what to do, but if we need to implement stuff,
I think it's useful to have a project like this in our solution. That if one of us needs to run it, and because they need to test it with different services, then they're able to. I mean, it's not like we're going to create a NuGet package and publish it for it. No.
So like a sample with a big comment at the beginning. Here, uncomment that if you want to do that, uncomment that if you want to do that, and so on. Like Redis.
Yeah, but I wouldn't put it. I wouldn't make it a sample. I would make it part of the startup.
Sure,
solution.
That's what I'm meaning. But okay, here, but with comments in the program CS, just to show all the things you could do with that project. Like if you want, imagine, you know that the CMS web, when we started, we could use SQL Server or PostgreSQL. So in the app host, we could have a section commented that says, if you want to use SQL Server, uncomment these lines. If you want to use Postgres, uncomment this line. If you want to use Redis, uncomment this line. Just to show all the methods that we have that can be used in Aspire to help people bootstrap.
And maybe with that, we can even have Aspire.extensions project for us, where we can just write, like you mentioned, extension, where it takes, like you just said, basically, so the environment variables. So we can have a base project for extensions, and then this project will be like the web. And then, yes, we'll have comments. If you want to use this, then use this, and so on and so forth. Yeah.
That's the only reason why I think we could have the app host in this solution. If we also had a project in the solution that would do the extensibility with Aspire, and the glue between Aspire and Orchard, so it's easy to integrate. Cool. And then because Aspire also has some OpenAI support here, we are not using that. I don't think. Yeah, you do the .add Olama. Okay, there is this one at least. That's why you use that Aspire also, probably, because it's there for you, so you don't have to care.
Which one?
Add Olama. Like, if you didn't have Aspire, I don't know what you would do. I have no idea.
Yeah, you would have to probably download the Docker image and run it, and then connect to it. It just with Aspire is much easier. That's why do it this way.
Yeah, something for OpenAI. Add Azure OpenAI, add OpenAI, and then you tell which model you want, and boom, it's done automatically. And it will deploy it also automatically.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. That's great. Great.
And one other thing about the AI module that I'm using, the new extensions that Microsoft has tipped, called AI extensions. So it's very extensible. Oh, and then another thing I forgot to mention, the workflow. You can actually use workflow.
Yeah, because that last demo, that's what I asked you, right?
Correct. Yeah, so here you can just, click and then select which profile you want to execute or run, and then you can even put the prompt liquid template, and then it will store it into the workflow, and then you can do whatever you want to do with it. You can actually generate those through workflow. So that's another thing. And there's a way to deploy using older navigation here, but you can also deploy your deployment or the profiles, and then also there's a recipe to import them as well. So there's a lot of integrations with Orchard that this module provide, which is really cool because it's really simple that you can just have integrations. And last week we've seen the widgets where you can actually use the widget on the front end. I don't know if I have it here. No, I didn't add it. I don't know. I thought I added one somewhere. Anyway, so yeah, you can also use widgets to put chat on the front end if you want. So cool.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yep.
Something else related to Aspire, actually, for Orchard, semi-related to Aspire, is the traces. So we have lots of components in Orchard talking to each other, even external components. That would be great to enable telemetry in Orchard, such that we can see, we can trace what's happening on the websites, and we might have better understanding of what happens when you go on one page, like SQL queries, cache, all these things. We don't enable telemetry at all in Orchard. That could be a feature, like telemetry features that will enable and let us disable specific sources for tracing, so we can see them on the dashboard and see what's happening. Okay. Victoria, you joined. What's up?
Yes, sorry, I couldn't join in the beginning. So I just wanted to mention that I posted, for example, on LinkedIn and also on Facebook about the survey results. You can check out these, but I would like to mention that nothing is set yet, but we would like to consider what the community prefers, and if you haven't filled out the table, but for example you want to join to the organizers group, just let me know on any channel, and we would welcome you. That's
Thank
all.
you. I already mentioned that first thing when we opened the meeting. I was like, I hope you filled up the form. So I covered for you. I didn't say that you could be helping. I didn't say that. Do you want to help? What are you sitting? Blah, blah, blah. Oh, that I didn't see that. I said no. But you have to say yes.
Yeah, but you have to say yes.
Okay, you have to say yes. Everyone has to say yes. Okay.
No, especially
just
you.
Me? Just me? Okay, just
me.
Yeah. Okay, just me.
You don't have any choice in it, but others can decide.
Late. I already submitted the form. I can't change it. I don't have the UI. Sorry. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, anything else? What do we have here? What's next? Wow, if you use a list instead of a concurrent bag, it would be faster. Maybe. So let's see. Maybe. That's interesting. Well, not always, but maybe in this case, it's better in the way it's done. That's interesting. I don't want to look at it. We look at it on. I got sunk into the PR. Sorry. George, what's up? I haven't heard you. What have you been working on? GraphQL?
Yeah, another bug fix.
It's like you went from I don't know anything about GraphQL, just fixing one issue, and now you start fixing everything.
And I just planned to use it someday, but never did actually.
Eventually.
It's weird, right?
Even tests, we even have tests now. Look at that. Beautiful. What are you doing here? Value, get element value, ordered by direction, content items, new type. This is a sort order. It was already fixed, but you fixed it again. etc. And okay, now there is a test that we are not replacing that. So that's great. About ambiguity. Look at that. Just different contributors everywhere. Beautiful. My team is back. Oh, which one is the PR? It's almost like I'm having fun seeing all these notifications with all these comments on this PR about the body. Is that this one? The HTML body? There is a PR with like 200 comments.
It's about emails.
Yes. Where is that?
About
this
text
one.
and HTML.
72.
Yeah, it's a really old one, and I just thought this should be finished.
One year. So I will look at it. We'll look at it on Thursday because I see a lot of traffic between you and Mishan. And I don't look at the comments. I just see my notifications like there is a new comment. I don't want to.
I picked this up because it's open so long, and actually I implemented the same several years ago, but never published it. And I totally forgot about it.
And then what it made me do is actually read about the text versus HTML emails, and I learned that you can send one email with two different content.
Right. I don't know, it's kind of outdated, but it used to be a big thing back then, 20 years ago.
So, and what I noticed also is this, I was like, yeah, the one with lots of comments on that, 72. But I'm like, how does this PR get 71 comments? What happened? What did I miss? What's the discussion?
Is there code to justify 71 comments in there? Probably like 5 lines of code.
What PR are you talking about?
I'm talking about the text message one.
Okay, yeah, that's why I was surprised by the amount of comments, because I'm like, support both text and HTML, and I'm like, today we do that with 2 tasks or whatever, I don't know. But yeah, it's like the discussion should be like, is there 1 field or 2 fields? And that's about it.
Yeah, right? But
so that's why we look at it on Thursday, because I'm like, the amount of comments on this PR
discussion
is like
very, very old. It's over 1.5 years old.
We'll see on Thursday. We'll look at it. And that, what did I miss just now? Why are there 72 comments on that? And
I don't think they are comments.
So what are these 72? What then? Commits?
I don't know. Probably because I did a lot of commits because I was trying to make it work with the CI there. But so I don't remember. The only discussion that I had was with Zoltan.
You see this 71? What does it? You see conversation 71? What does it mean?
I'm surprised. Maybe GitHub is confused.
Yeah, including like comments, you know.
Or maybe it's the bot itself. Not sure.
No, there are 71 comments. No.
Impossible. I just created that PR like
Okay.
3 weeks ago.
What is file app?
The media gallery.
What is file app?
The media gallery.
Okay, media gallery is media gallery. What is file app?
The same thing. For me, it's a file app.
Okay, it's because it's like uppercase, like it has a name, it's a well-known thing. File app. So the media gallery, you call it file app.
Yeah, for the last 2 years, we called that file app in our group here.
Yes,
because we use that. Yeah.
Okay, look for file app. Nope, there is nothing named file app here.
No, I want to move to migrate the media gallery to the code that we did there.
That is called file app. Okay. You made something better that you called file app. It requires this thing. So, because I look at in Orchard, there is file app.
No, it's basically just removing everything from jQuery file upload and moving to API. So yeah, it's a refactor in TypeScript because API is all written in TypeScript.
That's a future demo.
Yeah, future demo. Yeah, probably give me some time because here I need to migrate everything. There's a lot more things in that file app that we're not using already in Orchard Core. Things like SignalR that I need to refactor or talk with you if we should have these bits in Orchard Core, because I created a client for SignalR with TypeScript, but I'm not sure if I'm allowed to use that because it was part of a project that was for a private company. But we could use these bits for a notification in the file app and throughout the entire admin UI. It's kind of a different notification than what Mike has worked on, which is powered by SignalR. And also, of course, I use the TS client that uses OpenAPI with Swagger. And these bits, I need to probably refactor them. Everything that was controller API requests, it refactor these bits. If we're not going to use Swagger and OpenAPI in Orchard Core, then I need to figure out something without it. Yeah, pretty much it. I think can you remember me, Sebastian, why we're not using Swagger and OpenAPI in Orchard Core? Was that a decision?
I can't remember you, but I can remind you. So what Swagger? Yeah. You know what? Like very beginning of Orchard Core, we looked into OpenAPI. So we had some OpenAPI integration by Nick name. But your question is about Swagger?
Yeah, and yeah, pretty much.
Swagger is just some UI to expose OpenAPI.
Not just that, because it's used for generating proxy clients with TypeScript.
So I think OpenAPI is a new name of Swagger, actually, because the name Swagger was changed on OpenAPI. It's formerly Swagger specification, so that's why. Okay, OpenAPI. Yeah. So, okay, Swagger and OpenAPI are the same thing. It's just OpenAPI is the name that we have to use. Okay, formally.
I kind of see Swagger like the UI thing.
No. I'm confused. Swashbuckle is a UI thing. It's a tool to, but we don't use the word Swagger anymore. We use the word OpenAPI. So
that's strange because the UI mentions Swagger still.
What
UI?
UI?
When you go to the Swagger, implementation. Maybe it's what Dean has done in its implementation, because we go to /swagger.
Yeah, so I don't think there's anything like this in Orchard. Do we have?
/swagger /index, and we get the Swagger UI.
Dean made something on his own GitHub repositories.
Okay, so that's
it's own. Yeah,
we have nothing here. Okay, so there maybe he's got a feature with Swagger, but it's called OpenAPI, and yeah, so
yeah,
which is now supported well in the .NET Core with points. So, well, with minimal APIs also. So yeah, let's look into that. But yeah, we don't have anything special in Orchard right now.
Because the goal is to make the APIs to be more consistent, so that we throw notifications from the APIs to our front-end apps. So when you do a request, then we could use, there's another library out there that allows to send proper error messages when you're doing API requests. I need to remember which one it was there. I would need to just do a quick search. Don't remember exactly the name, but there's normalizations there that could be done with the API requests that we have, which would allow when we're generating the TS clients to be able to notify the user when something has happened that is wrong from an API request. Right now, we don't have this in Orchard Core.
Mm-hmm. Maybe a way to fix that is to have another set of APIs, maybe not controllers, that will do the same thing as what our controllers do today, and then migrate to that slowly. So we have APIs first, and then our views will use these APIs. Or maybe have the shared code between the controllers and the APIs, and then the controllers just for the views. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, and you could use something like, I'm forgetting names today. It's, let me check quick. I'll let you continue there. I'm just going to.
We are done. We are leaving, and then you can.
Media RT requests, so that you can have like bits of your code as requests. Media RT.
No.
It's something from it's a library for C#. It's in one name. You need to put it together.
Like this?
Yeah. No, you were right. No, he at the end.
Yes.
Are you talking about mediator?
Yeah, mediator.
So.
It's
mediator. I was like, I know what you mean, and that's not what.
Yeah, and Microsoft has created something like this recently, and I think it's ASP.NET 9.
Oh, it's different.
Or the not ASP.NET, but .NET 9. So we could use media TR there to create like common methods for our controller and API controllers.
No, that's CQRS. I think that's different. Yeah, CQRS contract is that CQRS contract? Whatever query request. Yeah, no, that's different. Don't mess up with our codes by injecting stuff like this. That's not what you want.
No. We use this.
I don't care. You don't use badly. That's not what we need to do in Orchard Core.
It's just because it's more unit testable.
No. Yeah, Orchard is very unit testable. The question is who writes the test. That's the question. Nobody writes the test. So it's very unit testable. You can already test it. Look at George. He's doing unit tests in GraphQL. Beautiful. And it's an API and it works. So we have tests for content. Yeah, no, that's different. It's beautiful. Okay, all good.
Yes. Thanks.
Thank you. So we get a new demo next week about file app. Because the new asset pipeline will be merged. Okay, yep.
Yeah, I hope that it's going to be merged.
Thanks everyone. See you next week.
Thank you.
Thank you.
See you Thursday. Bye.